Maneater is a game that doesn't require much explanation, nor any justification. Tripwire Interactive's shark munching simulator says it all pretty much with the title. You're here to munch down on lots of fleshy little humans. Our big scary powerful sharks don't discriminate and are happy to chow down on any and all types of people because they're tasty. And it works towards the larger goal of evolving into a bigger, scarier, and more powerful shark. After the initial prologue, where you play as a big shark causing chaos that is then brought to an untimely end, you spend the rest of the game as a bull shark that starts out incredibly small, but gradually grows in size and stature the more you level up. You level up by completing objectives and eating everything in your path. The latter also being a mechanism for the resources you need in order to level up upgrades you unlock from career progression. The game actually has a ton of non-player characters in there, but they are literally just fodder for the player. There's a lot of underwater life to be found swimming around, ranging from small fish to turtles, alligators, other sharks, and even killer whales. There's no real effort to create schools of fish or more realistic flocking behaviours, but the behaviour of these underwater creatures is largely perfunctory and acts as expected. Interestingly, very few of these creatures really respond to the shark's presence. They don't try to swim away or avoid the player. While I think this would be a nice addition, I can also see it being a source of frustration. The game works as something of a mindless activity at times, moving from one collectible site to the next, completing small challenges and munching on whatever I find along the way. Some of the larger fish and fellow predators provide an actual challenge. They attack, evade and pester you if you enter their territory. These moments are rare, but it shows the emphasis on more idle passive munching, and only having other fish try and evade you when there's a combat element surrounding it. But of course there's humans too, because humans are tasty, and some of them will also try to kill you. The passive civilians are incredibly dumb, and it's part of the joy of Maneater. If they actually properly responded and evacuated the beach every time you crested the waves, you'd probably die of hunger. Sure, the civilians panic, many of them start swimming to shore or run away, but it's all part of the theatre. The joy of being a 30-foot shark, lunging out of the water and chewing on some old gammon on his holiday is what really sells the game. So having them run around like headless chickens is necessary to sell the fiction, but ultimately we don't want them too difficult to actually catch. There is surrounding all of this a larger narrative of humans trying to hunt you, with bosses appearing to hunt the shark in the event you cause too much of a ruckus. Killing humans results in your threat level increasing, and an increasing number of hunters being out on boats and causing you trouble. On one hand, this is quite fun, as you dodge incoming enemy fire, lay waste to their boats, eat a couple of sailors, and then lay low if the action gets a little too intense. That said, I find the combat really scrappy. The boats the hunters are on do a good job of avoiding one another, and the edge of the water for the most part, giving you an opportunity to bob and weave around and then lunge for the kill. That said, the director system that spawns them in is a little too sensitive, I felt. When you cause enough commotion that they're going to spawn in some hunters, quite often they spawn mere feet away, which is even bizarre when you have some locations that are near impossible to reach in latter portions of the game, given you're in a water source that doesn't really have that many surface level inlets. Suffice to say, combat overall is not the game's strongest element, but the absurdity of it all kind of helps make up for its shortcomings. Ultimately, Maneater is a game that speaks to the value of Xbox Game Pass. This is a game that piqued my curiosity on release, but not to a point that I felt compelled to pick it up. It struck me that it was one of those games I may pick up when discounted at some point in the future. However, given it's right there on Game Pass, you can just stick it on your PC or console and give it a crack. Given you can 100% the whole game in around 8 hours, it's a really nice fit for the service. A game that you may otherwise not try out, lest it fits a specific price point. But ultimately, I've had a lot of fun with it. So that's it, another episode of Smoke and Mirrors, and this time on Maneater. Be sure to recommend me more of the best shark-inspired human-munching games out there, given I sort of love the base premise and want more stuff like this to nibble on. Take care of yourself, folks.